How we doing, folks? Welcome into week 1 of the postseason, week 12 of the entire season. I'm Jason Blakeney. With me is Brady Amon. And Brady, it's an interesting week. You got a lot of games in close proximity. One game where a team really has to do some traveling, and maybe the toughest matchup for a team. Gulf Breeze travels over to Wakulla. The War Eagles came over last week, took care of Escambia, looked good doing it, run good misdirection, and looked like maybe they can throw the ball a little bit when they have to.
Yeah, they're kind of a multiple team, and that might be a matchup problem for Gulf Breeze because they can kind of pound you if they need to. They can run in between the tackles if they have to. Like you said, they can run those counters to the backside, and if they need to, they can kind of get into the four wides and throw it up to their receivers. And having to take that long trip to Wakulla is going to be tough. Everybody kind of penciled in before the season when you started looking at potential matchups. You kind of penciled in Godby as the district champion, right. And then Wakulla goes and beats Godby. And you talk to the coaches that have seen those two teams play, and they say Wakulla's definitely legit. I mean, they're a good team, and they deserve to be that district champion and hosting that first round game.
Right, and Godby, you mentioned them. They actually come to the Pensacola area. They will play West Florida at Woodham Middle School, and the Jaguars. Maybe just as a touch of a matchup problem for them, but you got to you never know until you play the game. But it seems like the styles that have been effective against them, that is just not West Florida's strong suit.
No, it isn't. I mean, and Godby is just one of those teams that's got athletes all over the field. I think 7 or 8 Division I signees are going to be Division I signees. Their quarterback, Dennis Andrews, is a Georgia Tech commitment, dual threat guy. 1,800 yards passing, 800 yards rushing, and just a team that you hear the name Godby a lot.
Right.
As far as the playoffs are concerned, they're always in the mix. Definitely not what you would call a first round fodder game,
right.
so to speak. I mean, usually you're kind of hoping to get an easier team in the first round, a runner up that's kind of struggled. But Godby's only 2 losses are to Wakulla and Tallahassee Lincoln, so definitely a great program and going to be a tough test for West Florida.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much confidence West Florida plays with the first playoff game in a long time, first one that these kids would know about, and. Not a position they've been in. Not sure how comfortable they're going to be out there. They do get the home crowd, though, so that's an advantage for them. All right, that's the two 1-5A matchups. 1-6A, Pensacola High in a rematch, this time on their home field. They get Choctaw, who they played last week, gave them enough problems to beat them.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to handicap this game because you don't know what both. I mean, we know from our standpoint what PHS did. They kept it real vanilla, real basic. We don't know if Choctaw kind of did the same because we haven't really seen Choctaw a whole lot. But one thing Coach Bennett said coming away from that game, just, those two teams were out on the field, both of them trying to win. And he says, obviously, Choctaw's a pretty good team. Their 2 losses, are to Niceville and to Godby. That was their other loss. So, like he said, they're not a bad team, But I think this time around, PHS knows it's a do-or-die situation now. They don't have that one game to play with. They're not going to probably try things that they did the week before, and they're going to have the home field advantage in this one. And I think that gives them a little bit of a slight edge, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think this is going to be a game where you're going to see PHS just kind of pull away, easily. I think this is going to be a game they got to fight to win.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup, especially with them just seeing each other. Probably a lot of smack talk on that field going into that one. All right, the runner-up game there, Pace travels to Niceville. A lot of controversy this week. We're not even going to get into that. But, that Pace, earlier this year they had Niceville. 13-0 going in the fourth quarter. Niceville comes back to win. Pace has to pull some confidence from the fact that they pretty well handle them for 3.5 quarters. Niceville has to pull confidence from we came back and beat them. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens this time on Niceville's field.
Yeah, it does. And I think Pace, if you think about it, Pace probably has a little bit of more of an advantage here because they lost that early matchup, and they don't, they're going on a road, so they don't have that pressure of kind of defending their home turf. And I think Niceville, the pressure is on Niceville. Obviously, like they said, the situation with Devin Vorney may not play. That might start to factor into Niceville. That's even more of a factor for them because, if they get beat, if Pace doesn't play Vorney and Pace ends up beating them with a backup quarterback, that's, kind of even more humiliating. But I think defensively it comes down to that, the defense. Pace played really well against Niceville for 3.5 quarters. quarters.
Right.
The first time they played, they just kind of collapsed in the fourth quarter. And I think the confidence level is there. I think they know that they can beat Niceville. It's just a matter of kind of overcoming all the distractions this week and going on the road and taking care of business.
Yeah, it's one of the tougher places to play, though. A huge home field advantage there. They have kind of the bowl type atmosphere like Scambia does. With you walk into the stadium and then walk down into the field, people everywhere, and quite frankly, you walk into Niceville, you're down 7 points when when you get off the bus. So, that is a tough matchup. Be interesting to see who comes out on top there. The last game of the night, Northview will host We Will Hitchcock. Northview, the shortest road to the championship because the lower classifications play one less round of playoffs. Also guaranteed at home every round if they win. So you got to think their confidence is high. They play a We Will Hitchcock team who's 8-2, but you look at their schedule, they really haven't played anybody.
No, they haven't played anybody. They score a lot of points. They also give up a lot of points. I mean, you look at their schedule, they played a lot of 42 to 35 games, a lot of 56 to 48 games. They have a really good tailback, 2,200 yards, 37 touchdowns. But keep in mind, this is a team that lost to Vernon by 3 or 4 touchdowns early in the season. We know what Northview did to Vernon. They destroyed Vernon. Baker beat Vernon, last week. Northview, I think, has the advantage in this one. Probably had the advantage in their first 2 games because they would possibly play Freeport in that second game. I think the key to Northview is kind of stay focused, stay even keeled, not start looking ahead to a possible Chipley Holmes County game. I think worry about these first 2. That's what Coach Wheatley said. Big picture, the rural league, you got to like your chances because there's no Trinity Christian or whatever down there. Right. But keep in mind, you got to win the first one to get to the second one and so forth.
Right.
So I think that as long as they just take care of business and just do what they've been doing all year long, they'll be in good shape.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Not well said. Well done.
That's why I did it for you, man.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna pick them. We're going to run down quick without the patented Brady Amon explanation.
You don't want the analysis?
No, don't need it. Don't care. All right, let's go. We'll start bottom up. Northview hosting We Will Hitchcock.
I think Northview wins easily.
I agree. All right, 1-5A, Gulf Breeze on the road going to Wakulla.
I think Wakulla's going to have the home field advantage. I'll take the Wakulla.
I like Wakulla too. I saw them last week, so
yeah.
They're pretty darn good. All right, sticking in 1-5A, West Florida hosting Godby.
I think the 1-5A teams will be done. I like Godby in this one.
I'm going to go with West Florida only because they're at home and, it's a new experience for them. They're going to be flying high. You get two quarters of...
I think it was the first time I picked against West Florida this year.
Yeah. And now they're rooting against you.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
They hate you. Everyone hates you. Send your emails to BAMON@pnj.com. BAYMOND@pnj.com.
Thanks.
Okay, District 1-6A. Go with the runner-up first. Pace traveling to Niceville.
Yeah, I think distraction is going to get to Pace. I'm going to take Niceville in the home game. I just think that just too many distractions for Pace this week.
Tough place to play. I'm going to go with Niceville also. I like a close game there, though.
Yeah, I think so, too.
All right, 1-6A, PHS hosting Choctaw.
PHS gets the revenge win and moves on to the second round.
I don't even know if I call it revenge, but they get the win and move on to the second round. All right, they'll be playing at Jim Scoggins Stadium next week if they win. So, all right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Blakeney. This is Brady Amon. We will see you tomorrow.